You pretty girl. You pretty girl. Today we're going to talk about whitening treatments for your Shih Tzu. If your Shih Tzu has a white face like Ellie does, you will find that it's very hard to keep clean. Some of us have trouble with tear staining, which I've talked about tear staining before, which causes your dog's facial area to turn like a clay color. But even if you're not having, like maybe you're just having a mild problem with tear staining, or after you've figured out what's causing the tear stain and the stains stop, you might notice some discoloration of the facial area. And in general, when you have white on a Shih Tzu, trying to keep them pure white is very hard. I know for us it is. In fact, Miss Ellie tends to have a yellow tinge, or, you know, to me it looks yellow, could be a little gray. It's not pure white. And all of her tear stains have almost grown out. There's a little area on the ends where she's particularly, you know, a little bit on the brown side. I choose at this stage not to whiten her because I don't want to add any extra chemicals onto her coat. I'm okay with the slight discoloration. It's just the nature of having a long-haired dog. They play, they get dirty, they have a great time, and a little discoloration is okay for me. But I have a couple of tricks that I like to use that do help with when you have discoloration on the coat. And primarily we're talking about white coat, like Miss Ellie's white face. I have a white on white shampoo from Chris Systems. It's a whitening treatment shampoo, and it takes out the yellow discoloration off the coat. Now, it does not have a bleaching agent, and if you don't have to worry about like the darker areas of your Shih Tzu's face, like Miss Ellie has, you know, more of a beige color, because it's safe to use on darker coats. Now the shampoo itself, I don't know if you can see it on the cap, is a purple color. The blue dye or coloring in the shampoo is what's going to help to minimize the yellow stains. It counteracts the yellow. What I do is, while she's dry, before a bath, you know, if you're trying to actively remove discoloration, I'm going to say once a week to once every 2 weeks. Right now, maybe once every month or two, I'll put it on her. And it's great for feet too, because when they go out into the rain and they get wet, sometimes they discolor on the feet. But I will rub it into her beard and her mustache, and sometimes on the little white spot going up between her eyes. And I'm going to let it sit, on average 10 to 20 minutes, and then I give her normal bath and wash it out. I like this brand because of the consistency. It's easy just to put a little bit on your fingers, and it doesn't drip all over, and you can apply it where you need to on the coat, and it's easy cleanup. It was probably $10 or $12 for this 16-ounce bottle. I buy everything in bulk. You know, I want to say I spent $35 or $40 on the half-gallon size. Okay. So if you have minimal discoloration, that should take care of your problem. All you need is a whitening treatment shampoo. Now, in a case where you want to pull a little bit of that discoloration out of the coat, if it really bothers you, you can use, I've talked about it before, this Crown Royale whitener powder. It does whiten the yellow coat and remove yellow stains, and it is a powder, but I believe it has a bleaching agent in it, so you want to be very careful with it, and it will dry out the coat. I used it once or twice when the tear stains were really bad, or maybe every now and again, every 6 months, just to pull out some of the discoloration she may have. It's not terribly bad to use it. I just choose not to because it dries out her coat. And how this works is it comes in a powder form. It looks like baby powder or baking soda. It's white. And I use just a little container and a small teaspoon, because she's a small dog, okay, and I kind of measure 1 small teaspoon, which you need either a 10 or 20 volume cream developer with peroxide in it. I found it at Sally's Beauty Supply. And I usually measure equal parts. You want to make a really thick paste. It has to be like the consistency of peanut butter. And then you're going to apply it into the whiskers. Now, you could use a toothbrush. I usually just use my fingers. And I apply it into the whiskers. And you have to be very careful not to get it in their eyes or in their mouth. And, you know, for Ellie, she's so small that this baby-sized, I think it's like a toddler-sized spoon, is all I need for her. You can comb it through to make sure it's evenly dispersed, but you just put it into the face, you know, into the whiskers, the chin. I don't bother with paws, they lick that area, so if that happens to be discolored from the rain, I just use my whitening shampoo. And we're just going to let it sit until it dries. Once it dries, you're going to want to take like your face comb and brush it out, and you're good to go. The bottle suggests, the directions on the bottle suggest that you wash it out with soap and then right away dry it with either a hair dryer. You can air dry if the weather's warm. If I just have a little area that we're trying to whiten, I'm going to I usually do it the night before I give her a bath, so when it dries, I just brush it out, and then she goes in the bathtub in the morning. But you can follow directions, it's probably better just to shampoo it out. And another tip is the best time to do these kinds of things is at night when the dog is sleeping and they're not moving around, they're not getting wet, they're not getting dirty. So, okay, so that was it. That is my review of the 2 different products that I like to use as a whitening treatment, and I hope everybody has a great day.